Okay, guys, we're going to run through how to connect the RSP Duo with SDR Uno up to a 7300, and this will apply to any other radio as well. And this is in reference to diversity reception. So, what do you need? I'm going to go through what you need first. So, if you're going to run diversity, you need something like this, an SDR switch. Okay, you will need the RSP Duo by SDR Play, and I'm going to go through the cabling now. So you will need an IF feed from your transceiver into the RSP Duo. Now you need a cable which comes from the IF out of the radio, however you have that set up, into the RSP, and that goes into tuner 1. That's from the transceiver. Now tuner 2 is for diversity. This is the second receiver. So what you will need is a way to get your antenna into that port. So you'll need some type of SMA connector. Now, if you're going to run diversity, you will need an SDR switch. And this is incredibly important. Sorry about the noise. I just pulled something off of the top of the computer. You will need an SDR switch. Okay, this is an MFJ, whatever it is. I can't remember the model number. You want the B version, 1708B, I think it is, SDR switch. Okay, the reason why you need an additional switch is because the RSP Duo, when you key the transceiver, it will not, because the IF goes dead from the transceiver. This connector right here comes directly from the IF out of the transceiver. It kills the RF to the IF to the SDR Play. However, tuner 2, it will not kill this. This is open. This is still receiving. If you key your rig up with your diversity receive antenna plugged into this without an interrupt, it will blow the front end out of your SDR RSP Duo. Hence, the additional switch. So you bring your antenna feed. This is the antenna line, which comes in from the diversity antenna, which in my case is a vertical. It's a quarter wave. Let me pull this out so the light's a little bit better. It is a quarter wave on 75 meters, and it switches via relay into a half wave 40 and up with a 49-to-1. 49-to-1 is switched in. So on 75 meters, it functions as a vertical quarter wave. And the reason why all of my antennas are horizontally polarized. So I wanted a vertical antenna, which is preferably noisy, and verticals technically are a little bit more noisy, and generally speaking, and it helps the diversity work. Okay. Now, the antenna feed line from the diversity antenna comes into the antenna port on the SDR switch. Okay. Now you need to get that information out to the RSP Duo. So to do that, you will need an SMA connector, either SMA to SMA, and that would be a male, I believe. I think. Let me pull it. I want to be absolutely sure I'm not giving you false information. I always get them mixed up. Yes, that is a male. So you'll need an SMA male to SMA male connector to get from the switch and you'll see on the switch it says, I don't know why the freaking camera won't focus. There we go. SDR record or receive, whatever. I don't know what that stands for. You want that plugged into that port right there. and that comes into this. So your diversity antenna comes into the switch, out of the switch, to the RSP Duo. Now, how do you get this to activate with the radio when you PTT the radio? One thing I need to stress, and this is incredibly important, do not run, well, before I get into that, you'll need a power source for this. So it comes with a power cable, and I feed that right into the power supply. So you plug that in there. This is the control line. This tells the switch when to key, when the radio's keyed. So what you'll need, let me show you what not to do. Okay, so if we come over here to the radio, I was using a splitter. I use it for other devices. This is a HIO cable, and this is the PTT line. This goes to a foot switch. This is a mechanical switch. Do not use a mechanical switch with this. With the RSP Duo and the MFJ SDR switch. The reason why is because if you key this radio with software, or if you key it internally, because the switches would be connected to a mechanical line, it will not kill the receive, and you can kiss your RSP Duo goodbye. So you'll need a line out of the back of the 7300, and let me see if I can get my light here. Okay, so you'll need a line which comes out for keying like an amplifier. Now I have a line which comes out of the back of the 7300, which goes to the ARB 704, which is the buffer for the amplifier. And you'll see on the back of it, right there, there's a RCA splitter, a T, so to speak. So I split that. I take the feed electronically from the output of the back of the radio, and that comes over to this, and then it goes over to the SDR switch. Okay, and so when the radio keys, it doesn't matter how you key the radio. It can be keyed manually or electronically. It will always activate that switch. Okay, so now, how do you get the IF from the 7300 over to the RSP Duo? I'll show you how you do that on the 7300, and this would apply to probably other radios. I don't know. The 7300, you can purchase what's called an RX 7300. Don't waste your money and time with the board. It's not necessary. This modification it takes longer to get the cover off than it does to put this modification in. It's basically a set of jumpers that are jumped onto the RF deck, which gives you an IF out. And it places, let me put this right here, it places, gives you access, it drops right into the back of the radio, into where the auto tuner cord went. You take the cord and you lay it in inside the cover, and then this modification jumps right in, and there's instructions on how to do that online. So to get the IF out to the RSP Duo, you will need a RCA T or some form of a T. This freaking camera. There we go. You'll need a T. This is the line which goes to the RSP Duo, and you can get all this cabling through Amazon. Don't go cheap. Get some decent cables. This is a gold-plated RCA connector, so what happens is the IF is jumped using this small coaxial jumper, RCA jumper, back from one side to the other into the T, and that completes the circuit so the radio can receive as well. and the IF out is taken from this coaxial T over to the RSP Duo. So that's basically it in a nutshell. All these connectors can be found online. The RX7300 can be purchased through like DX Engineering, HRO, any place like that. So hopefully that answers your questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in there. These cables I bought through Amazon. This type of a cable. This basically gives me the ability to use a coax jumper because the distance from the RSP Duo to the switch is so great. It was just easier to do it that way, and I like keeping these on hand. This is an SMA male to UHF jumper, so you can just plug a piece of coax right into it. So that's how that's put together. Okay, and you will need the RSP Duo. Why, I don't know, does not come with a USB cable. You will need a USB cable to get from there to the computer to run the software. So that's it. We'll catch you guys later. Hopefully that explains things well enough. And in this line right here, this is the RCA line, which comes from the ARB 704 from the amplifier buffer. That's the electronic keying, completes the electronic keying circuit to the MFJ switch. So see you guys later. Have fun.